Welcome to Sundays with Amber. For today's practice, you will need 2 blocks and 1 blanket. Take a comfortable seat or lie down, whatever way you'd be most comfortable right now. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. The reading from Maggie Smith called Good Bones. Life is short, though I keep this from my children. Life is short, and I've shortened mine in 1,000 delicious, ill-advised ways I'll keep from my children. The world is at least 50% terrible, and that's a conservative estimate, though I keep this from my children. For every bird, there is a stone thrown at a bird. For every loved child, a child broken, bagged, sunk in a lake. Life is short and the world is at least half terrible. And for every kind stranger, there's one who would break you, though I keep this from my children. I'm trying to sell them the world. Any decent realtor walking you through a real shithole chirps on about good bones. This place could be beautiful, right? You could make this place beautiful. Well, Maggie Smith points out that the world is at least 50% horrible. What she's also insinuating is that if the world is 50% terrible, it means that the world is at least 50% beautiful. And as we practice today and we get on our mat and we explore postures, there are postures we like and there's postures that we don't like. Our job, our work is to observe all of it. Observe the things on our mat, the reactions that we like a posture, we're elated or joyful, or the postures where it's like challenging or it brings up the memory of an old injury or a feeling in our bodies. We're observing it all, doing our best to not judge the observation. As we face this with courage, what is revealed is deep, beautiful connection to ourselves and to the world around us. In a cross-legged seated position, walk your hands forward and fold over your legs. Relax your jaw and your tongue, so try not to clench your teeth together. Just observe how your hips are feeling. Take a breath. And then walking your hands back, switch the cross of your legs. So have the other leg in the front. Lift your chest on the inhale. Walk back out on the exhale and just notice the difference of this other leg in the front now. How does your hips feel, your legs feel as a result? Take a breath. Walk your hands back and then place your hands at your heart. Inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Nice and tall. Exhale, float your left hand to the floor. Seated side stretch, just flowing between the sides. Inhale, reach back up. Long breath. Exhale, right hand down, flow over that side. Inhale, long breath, reach up. Exhale, left hand down. One more time, each side as you do this. Extend through your side body. Inhale, reach. Extend through your breath. Exhale, right hand down, flow over. Now inhale, reach all the way up and then touch your finger pads, your thumb pads overhead. And if you need to kind of look at it first, you can bring it down, but place your finger pads, your thumb pads together like you're holding a ball between them. It's called Hakini Mudra. So pressure, it's a hand gesture. Press your finger pads, your thumb pads together. Reach overhead and keep doing that as you press the finger pads, the thumb pads together. Notice how that kind of activates your arms a little bit. Instead of like just being light, you might not feel that. But if you press, there's some kind of activation happening in your arms. Reach up really tall on the inhale. Now, when you exhale, keep your hands like this. Just twist to your right. Palms are up like you're holding two oranges. Inhale, reach overhead and try to touch the finger pads, the thumb pads together. Did they touch? Exhale, twist the other way, palms up. Inhale, reach up one time each side. Exhale, twist, palms up. Inhale, rise up, long breath. Did they touch? Exhale, twist other side. Inhale, reach up, hold it. And on the exhale, slide your hands to your heart. Tapping into this intention of our ability to make this place beautiful, like the Maggie Smith poem suggests. Yes, there are terrible things, but there are equally as many good things. In this practice, on this journey, we don't ignore any of it. We pay attention to all of it, remembering that even though there might be hard postures, there's also postures we like. And one posture can hold both of those experiences. Keep your hands like this and take your finger pads, your thumb pads to the floor. So there's still that kind of doming shape under the palms. Lift your chest, take a breath. Chin parallel, but keeping your head face forward, tip your right ear to your right shoulder to stretch the neck. And just a couple times in that tilt, lift your chin and maybe stretch the front of the neck. And then tuck the chin to stretch the side and the back of the neck on the left side. Right. Inhale, lift the chin. And exhale, lower the chin. Okay, lift the chin to more of a neutral. Come back to center, deep breath. And then drop your left ear to your left shoulder and do the same thing. So lift the chin a bit if that feels okay. Don't overdo it. Okay, the right amount. And then tucking the chin. It's kind of back and forth again, stretching. And lowering the chin. Come back to center. Lift your head. We'll do 3 rounds of what's called Brahmari Pranayama. Everybody has a different breath length. Depending on the day, too, it might change. So we'll do 3 rounds, and you'll kind of go at your own pace. It's a low humming on the exhale like a bumblebee. So we'll start together, and then you just continue to go on your own for 3 rounds. Inhale, and begin. Observing the sensation at your throat, your chest, in your arms, perhaps. Place your hands together at your heart. Open your eyes if they're closed. If you're on a prop, float that prop away. Bring your blocks over, or what you're using for your blocks over, out in front of you. And create a pinwheel shape with your legs where your left shin is more parallel to the top of your mat and your right shin is more parallel to the side of your mat. And you can adjust. You can bring the back knee forward, the front foot back. Right? Otherwise, you're allowing more of a 90-degree angle between both legs. So whatever's good for you today in this practice. Take your hands on the blocks, lean forward a little bit. Lean to your left hip just a little bit and then lift your right knee up. And then pulse 5 times. Up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Bring your arms out in front of you. Make fists. Lean back. Swing the leg around until you're on both sit bones. Then place your left hand on your left shin and reach either for your foot with your right hand, or you could grab a strap too. So if you have whatever you're using for your strap, you could pull that over, lasso the foot, and pull with the strap. So either or, so that you get this pulling action in your upper body, in your upper back. So pull back with the arm, lift your chest, and hold for 3. Breathe, 2, and 1. Let's do the other side. So pinwheel shape the legs the other way. And if you have props in the way, just push them to the side. Okay, bring the blocks out in front of you. Lean forward. Lean just a tiny bit to the right, not a whole lot. Tone your belly and lift your left leg. The foot and the knee together, pulse. 5, 4, for the glute to engage. 3, 2, focus there. 1, bring the hands out in front of you, fist, lean back, swing the leg around slowly until you're on both sit bones. Rest your right hand at your shin, grab the left foot, lift your chest, and then pull back with the arm. So you feel your upper back engage. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back to the first side. This time, hook your fingers in what's called Ganesh Mudra. Hook your fingers together like a little latch and create almost like a O shape between your arms. Take a breath here. Now when you exhale, start to slowly lift your knees, both sit bones down, turn your knees the other direction, and then twist your upper body a little bit more. Inhale, lift your knees, so both sit bones down. Exhale, twist back to the front. And keep going with the chest and the arms. Again, inhale, lift, sit bones down. And as you exhale, twist. This time, take your hands to the floor and keep twisting, looking under your right arm to the floor. Relax your jaw. Breathe into your belly around. And then come back to Ganesh Mudra. Inhale, lift your knees. Feet stay where they are. Exhale, come back to front. And then walk your hands all the way around, looking under your left arm. Tone your belly. Take a breath. And then inhale, come back to center. Bring your legs into butterfly pose. Bring the soles of your feet together. Take your hands back behind you. Lift your chest. Just take a breath. Try to push the soles of your feet together. One more inhale. One more exhale. Sitting up as tall as you can. Bring whatever you're using for your block over. Open your feet and put the block between your feet. Hands back behind you. Press your feet into the block now. The ball of your big toe, your little toe, and your inner and outer heel. So press into the block so you feel your hips engage. And then while you do that, lengthen your inner thigh outward to your inner knee, as if your inner leg line could get longer as you squeeze the block. So there's almost like a push and a pull in a sense, or an engagement and a lengthening happening. Squeeze the block, lengthen the inner thigh to the inner knee. One more breath. Relax, turn the block the other way, and put your feet on top of the block. Soles of the feet together, hands back behind you. Press the soles of the feet together, lift your chest. As you press, lengthen inner thigh to inner knee, long, widen, lengthen. As you squeeze the feet together, hold. One more breath. Great, relax it. If you need to guide your knees up or just slide them forward first, do that. And then come onto your hands and knees. So you'll come into table pose with your knees together. And you can slide the blocks to the side. Spread your fingers and extend your left leg up. Tone your belly so that you're not collapsing your belly. Something I still have to remind myself to do after years of practice. Lower belly in. And then dialing the left knee in, start to pulse from your left glute. So you're pulsing up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Slide your left foot over to the side so that your right knee and your left foot kind of intersect in a straight line. Inhale, lift your left hand to the sky. Pause. Press your right hand down and spread your collarbones. Lift your chin. Take a breath. Exhale, sweep the arm under, and you can rest your head on a blanket, a block, whatever is nearby, or the floor. You thread the needle. Breathe into your rib cage. Create a 3-dimensional quality to your breath in your rib cage. Inhale, come back up to table. Step the knee in, knees together, and then we'll do the second side. So tone your belly. Spread your fingers, extend the right leg back. Notice if your belly dropped down. Lower belly draws in, firm the lifted leg, and then from the glute, turn the right knee in. From the glute, pulse up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide that foot over. Right foot, left knee, intersect. Reach your right hand up, pause. Widen your collarbones. Press your hand down, reach your hand up, take a breath. Exhale, sweep it under. Use your prop if that feels like it's good on the side. This side might be different than the first side. Sometimes it is. Breathe into your rib cage and observe. So as you do postures, you might find ones you like, ones that are more challenging, and the ones that are challenging and you don't like them or you do like the challenge. But all along, you are practicing observing the reactions. So it's less about the variation of the posture and more this like internal self-study. Come back up to your hands and knees, table pose. Spread your fingers. Knees about outer hip distance apart. Inhale, reach your chest forward. Exhale, round your back into cat. Inhale, cow pose. Lift the sit bones. Exhale, cat. Now inhale into the cow pose, curl your toes under. And as you exhale, downward facing dog pose. And in this down dog, when you arrive, plug your whole palm down, bend your knees. And as you bend your knees, lift your sit bones up. Lift your sit bones up and notice if your front low ribs are splaying forward, and that might not be you, but if your low ribs are splayed out, draw them into your body, but still lift your sit bones up. Can you do both? Then begin to pivot or descend your thigh bones back and up to straighten the legs, but keep lifting the sit bones and drawing the front low ribs in. Take a breath. Let's do it again. Bend your knees. Lift your sit bones up. Low front ribs in. Hug your upper arms in to each other. Then pivot your thigh bones back to straighten the legs. Take a breath. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Come into a forward fold there. Give your arms a break. Sway from side to side. Place your hands at your hips. Inhale, come on up to standing. Feet outer hip distance apart. Bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose. As you exhale, half chair pose. Okay, hold on. Imagine you're holding onto a tree trunk or a light post. And as you hold on, it's rooted. Move, extend, magnetize your sit bones back behind you. Take a breath. Forward fold, exhale. Bend your knees one more time. Inhale, chair pose, reach up. This time, sweep your arms back behind you. Exhale. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, half chair. Hold onto the tree trunk. Extend your sit bones back. Take a breath. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Walk all the way back, down dog on the exhale. Press your heels back and down. Lift your sit bones up. Press your thigh bones back. One breath in. Exhale, rock forward to table or push up. Lower all the way to your belly. Press your hands down. Bring your hands right under your shoulders. Press your toenails down, your pelvic bone down, and engage your glute muscles today. Inhale, Cobra, lift your chest. Exhale, lower, squeeze your inner thighs together. Press your toenails down, your pelvic bone down. Inhale, lift, engage your glutes. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Come up to your hands and knees on the inhale. Walk your hands back. Sit back on your heels or put a block between your heels and sit there just for a moment, doing a scan of your body, checking in physically, mentally, emotionally. What's showing up today? Come up to your knees, walk forward on your mat. So if you're at the back of the mat, just come forward, knees together, feet wide. Either you are sitting on the block between your ankles, the feet a little wider. You can do 2 blocks as well. Okay, and the option, if your knees are feeling okay, is to grab the calf, pull back, and then sit between your heels like that. Okay, so you're in a pose called virasana or hero pose, regardless if you're using the props or not. The feet are a little wider. Press your toenails down, lift your chest, and then take a moment to acknowledge what's coming up for you here. This might be a challenging posture for you. This might be less challenging. Noticing the thought process, like what's happening, validating that, seeing it, observing it, staying with it. If you need to come out, you can come out a little bit and then modify and come back. Okay, walking the hands back behind you is an option. Lift your hips and tip your tail toward your knees, and then lower your hips down. Keep your chest lifted is an option. Looking to where the wall and the ceiling meet in the room that you're in. So you're lifting the head just a little bit. If it's feeling okay, you can lift your hips, tip your tail, and then come down onto your elbows as well, which will be more of a quad stretch and more of a stretch on the knee. And just being careful with that. Pressing your toenails down, extending your knees forward, your inner thighs to your inner knees forward now. Take one more breath. Keep your chest lifted. As you come up, take one hand, the other, come all the way up, back to table. Extend your left leg back, pulse, and go slow. Watch the blood flow into that leg. Notice the reaction of being able to come out of the pose. Okay. Extend the right leg and switch sides, pulsing. Come on down to seated. Swing your legs out in front of you. And then we'll move into what's called easy pose. So you can either do easy pose, left shin in front of the right shin. Lift up and move your hips around so that your hips become a little bit more evenly placed on your mat or a prop. You can sit on that. And then the second option would be to stack the left ankle on top of your right knee or on the calf, bringing the bottom foot back as a kind of an in-between option. You choose the one that's right for you today. Not overdoing it, but not underdoing it. Walking forward, a block might be nice. Relax your jaw and hold this position for 5 breaths, relaxing your tongue as well as your jaw. Breathing into your belly. 3 more. Really nice. Walk back, swing your legs out in front of you. Bounce, and then switch sides. So you'll take your right shin in front of the left shin. Okay. Take your variation. This side might be different. We've done a lot of the kind of glute opening and engaging so far. So just acknowledging how that part of your body, your hips are feeling as you take your variation. Noticing as you look inward into the practice of self-study, is this a pose that is challenging for you? Is it something that it's challenging or it's joyful? What is the kind of response in this moment you're having without judging what comes up for you? You're just becoming aware of it. Okay, walk back, extend your legs out in front of you, bounce your knees a few times, And then very slowly as you bend your knees, take your hands on the backs of the legs, round your back, and very slowly start to lower all the way down onto your back. Right. Taking a twist, cross your right leg over your left. Lift your knees. You can hook the foot or they can stay loose. Twist your knees to the left as you take your arms in a goalpost. And then looking over your right shoulder. 3 slow breaths here. And then very, very slowly lift your knees, unwind, and wind the other way. So the left leg is on top. Twisting your knees to the right. As you look over your left shoulder. 3 slow, full breaths here. And coming all the way up to center. Separate the knees, grab the knees and bring them in towards your armpits like this. You can lift your feet and grab the sides of your feet. Full happy baby. Pull with your arms. Breathe into your belly. And extending your legs out for shavasana. Taking about 3 to 5 minutes in shavasana. Potentially you could set your timer for that. Just kind of sense it, but allow yourself some time in shavasana to rest, to be still. And after your 3 to 5 minutes have finished, allowing yourself to move up to a seat slowly. Take your time. And have a really beautiful rest of your Sunday. And I will see you next week on Sundays with Amber. Hey, Cooper.